All right, so somebody asked me what kind of a printer do I use, and I use what's called a Qidi Plus 4, and it has its own chamber with a door on it, so you can do heated chamber type printing, like for ABS and carbon fiber and all the fancy fibers. It'll do them all. It'll do PLA, PLA Plus. It'll do TPU. TPU is one of those things that's really hard to do. That is a flexible stuff. I printed my Robbie the Robot hands with it. You have to really pay attention to it to make sure it adheres immediately, and then you just have to watch your print, because it's a really tough stuff to print in. But then once it's printed, it's fabulous. I mean, it's flexible, it bends, it's amazing stuff. But it does take a little bit of babying and pampering. So what I'm printing right now is I'm working on my Johnny 5, and these are going to be his eyebrows. And this stuff prints really good. It's printing in silk, PLA Plus silk. It does an incredibly good job. As you can see, the size of the print table is 305 by 280 millimeter. This is huge. That's my hand. It's a big printer. It prints a lot of stuff. Again, you just have to pay attention. I think it's really funny when I see the videos of these guys that they are printing on the plate and everything sticks perfectly and they pop them off and all that stuff. I've been printing for over a year, and sometimes it does that, and sometimes you have to put an adhesive on it. I find that the purple glue sticks that I get from Amazon, that's what these are. These work really, 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 really good. And you just put a little thin coating of it, and just enough for it to stick to. The hardest part of 3D printing is adhesion. It really, really is. And it has to do with temperature, and it has to do with what you're adhering to. So I kill two birds with one stone. I raise the temperature a little bit more than normal, both on the bed and on the filament. And I leave the door open so it doesn't cool too fast, but it does cool at an even temperature. And the one thing about 3D printing is you really have to get a lot of experience with it to get comfortable with it, because there's going to be a lot of things that can happen, and you're not going to know what to do. When I first started, I screwed up so many times, and I didn't know what to do. But you learn over time exactly what you're doing. The screen on this is pretty cool. Gives you all the information you need. So this is my left brow that I'm printing. You can see right there where it says 220 centigrade. That is the temperature of the nozzle. Below that is the temperature of the bed. Below that is the temperature of the chamber itself, which is at 0, because I'm not doing a heated chamber type of filament right now. This is how fast it's printing at 200 millimeters a second, and it's on 22 of 64 of printing layers. Okay, it says, okay, this whole print's going to take 1 hour and 3 minutes, and we're at 45%. And then it's got all the basic information here. That's how to turn the light on, how to adjust the Z-axis, whatnot. Then you've got home control, where you can control everything. Docs for the documents that you can save in the thing. Tools are for all the different kinds of tools that it do, like bed leveling and all the different things that it does on top of that. And then set has to do with your wireless network. It does communicate with my computer in the back room, so I can send print jobs to it. And I love the fact that I can stop the print if I'm not happy with it. It has a camera so I can see it on my computer. If I'm not happy with the print, I can stop it immediately and say cancel the print, come in, clean off the print plate, and then I can start all over again. It's not expensive to print. It really isn't. One of my spools costs about $22 with shipping, and a spool can do a lot of printing. To do the head that I showed you guys with Johnny 5, it took a spool and a half. And I made a lot of mistakes too. So by the time I'm done with this head, with all the printing and everything, with the glue included, and all the lenses and stuff, I'm probably looking at, I would say maybe $40. You're never going to touch anything for $40. So that's the cool thing about 3D printing. I know a lot of guys that do resin printing too. The reason I don't do resin printing is because it's too toxic, and with my son who's autistic and epileptic, it would be dangerous. So if I want to have any kind of resin printing, I'll send it to Shapeways and have them do it. So I'll create the file like in Blender or something like that, but I'll send it to them and they'll print it for me. And they can do clear printing, they can do all kinds of stuff. So Shapeways does a really cool job. Anyway, this is for the people that wanted to see what the 3D printer was I had and how I do my 3D printing. As you can see, we're at the top here, but if I was to print something really big, the table would then move down on these shafts, straight down like this, and I literally can print from this here all the way up to there. So I can print big stuff from this. Here's something that I printed a long time ago. This is a Cylon from the new Battlestar, and this is my finger, my hand, so it's a pretty good size print. You can print probably about 6 or 7 times that in this thing. This thing is huge. Anyway, as I always say at the end of my videos, end of video, happy printing. Be sure to join my YouTube channel, share, like, and subscribe. And guys, I've got lots of videos to do. There's tons of people asking me to do stuff. I'll be happy to do it, but I was really meaning to get to this, okay? And then I'll definitely keep you up to date on my Johnny 5 project, on my Robbie project, my Terminator projects, and maybe an Alien project. Who knows? Anyway, end of video. Happy printing.